back to another episode of ATK, All Things Chris. I'm Chris, and as you can see, I have some beautiful people with me. These are my cousins, y'all. I'm so excited.
What's up?
I'm so excited for them to be here. We are going to be talking about some real, authentic, raw things that we need to, we need to have these types of conversations as family. So what I did, I brought them along, and this episode, we're going to be starting a series called The Gathering. And, they're going to be coming on with me. We're going to be talking about some deep stuff. So like I always say, I want you guys to be able to take something away from the video. Whatever it is that you can take away, you can help your family, your friends, loved ones. But this video is aimed towards that family and bridging the gap. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started.
You're my best friend.
So as I said earlier, guys, I have some beautiful people with me. These are my cousins, and we're just gonna go around the room so you guys can know who they are, how to find them on social media, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. So starting with my Mo.
Hi everybody, I'm Monique. I am an entrepreneur of a cleaning service, EMY'S cleaning service.
Yeah.
I am also in the funeral business, aspiring mortician.
Mm-hmm.
And
How they find you on social media?
how you can find me on social media is at Monique Yearby. That's my personal page, and EMY'S cleaning service.
Yes. All right, and that's Facebook and Instagram?
Just Facebook.
Just Facebook. Okay.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. I'm Marcell Boyd. Nice to meet everybody. What I was going to say. Also, what all you said?
What's
your name, bro?
What's my name? My name is Marcell Boyd. I said that.
And what do you do?
So I have I have many businesses.
All right.
How about my
But the one you're gonna follow is Marcell's Kytchen on IG.
Yes.
And that's WAC_CELL_KYT. Come on now, CHEN.
All right.
All right. You're gonna love the food when you go on there.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And then, and if you want to find me on social media, my Facebook is Marcell Boyd. And if you want to go to my original IG is 13_trust.
All
Well,
right.
underscores. You're absolutely
underscore?
right.
It is.
Something in the underscore.
But you'll love
Right.
it, okay? All right. Be blessed.
The blessing is in the underscore.
Yes.
Blessing.
All right. So last but not least.
How you guys doing? I'm Chris O'Neal. I am family
Yes.
to everything Chris. But of course, I am also the CEO and founder of the Living Room SoFlo.
Yeah.
My name is just as simple as it is. You can follow me on Instagram. That's Chris O'Neal.0 and or the Living Room SoFlo.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to be here, and we're about to talk about some good stuff, you guys.
Yeah.
Needed information. Let's do it. Let's get
All
to
right.
it.
I'm gonna stop drinking.
You get a little
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So our first question is, what does family mean to you? Like I said, we're gonna go around the room, talk about your own experiences, all of that. But that's what we want to start with. What does family mean to you as a person?
Yeah, I'll go first. What family means to me, family means everything to me. No matter where you go, how far you go, there's nothing like family. No matter who you meet, there's nothing like family. You can get a new family and it's nothing like your blood family or your bloodline. Like, I came into some great people in their family, but there's nothing like my family. It's authentic. Family is authentic to me.
Yeah,
True.
that's good.
So true.
So me?
No,
Yes,
sorry.
you.
Family, I can attest with that. To me, family is truly everything. I'm a big person when it comes down to family. Like, I'll go extra mile for anybody when it comes down to my family.
Yes.
Even with relationships, like Monique said, you can get in these relationships, but at the end of the day, if things go sour, you always can go back to your family.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't appreciate or value family like they should, but family is truly everything.
All right, now.
I mean, it's, if you can already see, we come from a very loving family. And though he said we have the privilege of coming back to some families, but that's not the case for a lot of people out in the world, you know. But thank God that we have somebody or someones that we can call home, or family, mom, dad, whoever, you know. And what it means to me is home. That's really what it means to me. Sharing, you know, your ins and outs, and having a comfort or cover, you know, and still being able to have integrity when you step out into the world, you know, because you know that you have people that have your back, you know, because you know, we're all out here figuring things out, you know what I'm saying? Right. So that's what it means to me. It means home. It means shelter. If I can say that.
I would say all of what you guys said is absolutely true. The other point I would want to bring to the table is family is what you make it. You know what I mean? You have to be intentional about, you know, spending time, making sure that you are conveying how you really feel. You know, there's a disagreement or, you know, something that goes wrong within the family. We have to stop thinking like, okay, it's just brushed under the rug because we family. No, we have to sit down and talk about things. You know, me and my mom, we used to talk about like having like a no judgment zone or whatever. I always wanted to instill that into somewhere in family meetings, something that way, you know, people can get off their chest what they want to say without, you know, I love you, but I'm mad at you right now. Okay, let's talk about that. You know, so next time I see you, it's not like, hey, cuz, you need to go on. So, like, no, we got to stop doing that. So, family is what you make it. Yes, we love each other. Yes, we know that we're going to be there for one another. But be intentional about caring about how you feel. How are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Seriously.
What's going on? Yeah. It's like, well, I'm good. Or, cuz, like, what's going on? Do check-ins. You know, I've talked about that on my channel. Like, do check-ins. Hey, everything all right? And not just, I'm blessed and highly favored, or, you know, I'm okay, I'm fine.
What's up?
Yeah, what's going on? Seriously. So, and then, you know, I feel like, too, like I've experienced in our own family where it's real cliquish. You get what I'm saying? It's like certain ones, like if I'm close to you, that's all I talk
honestly,
to at the family reunion.
I believe that's all families because I see it on my mom's side and I see it on my dad's side. You know, the people, everybody just have their preference. And granted, we don't get the chance to pick who's our family, right? But at the end of the day, if we can be a lot more, I think the biggest issue when it comes down to family is the transparency.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? People are not as honest with each other. Right. It's so easy to just say, oh, I'm okay, or I'm doing all right, but what happened to being truthful with each other? Don't know how to do that anymore, you know?
Yeah. And not letting it get to a point of, like, just because I disagree with you does not mean we got to have confrontation.
Right.
Like, you like yellow rice, I like white. That don't mean I don't like you no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got to talk about those things.
Do y'all remember, do y'all remember the days, and I mean, we were coming up as kids, but the ones like our greats, you know, the Aunt Abby's, the Grandma Kay's, like, come on, the Villas, like, come on, like, it would be those days where we would have picnics and certain things.
Them was the good
those were the days, and those are the days that I remember more than any other day, you know, because it reminded us who was our cousin, who was our aunt, you know, and they taught us, you know, from my understanding, we didn't know about in-laws or any of that until we came of age to understand what those things were, because those people, those pioneers in our family, they kept those things from the innocent. You know what I'm saying? And that really helped us to engage as family and come together. You know, we got lost in that somewhere. But I thank God that we can remember those days.
When you keep that family word, when you hold that family word to a standard, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
because
true.
a lot of people don't value family.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the respect for family. Because it's like at the end of the day, I can do whatever to you and I can come back to you and say, okay, I need so and so. But that's not how it used to be back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody looked out. I remember growing up, I can tell you we lived with so many people. And back then nobody said, "Oh, so and so was living with me." You know what I'm saying?
That's what family is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so it's like you said, if we can just get back to that place, because time is changing so much,
so fast,
that everything. There's so, and unfortunately, people waste so much time with trying to keep up with the time. You know what I'm saying? Instead of actually seeing what's really important.
They call it keeping up with the Joneses.
Come on,
I'm a drink to that.
Right, but at the end of the day, it's like, but why?
I love my family.
We love y'all.
It's just the same,
right? But it's like, why devote so much time to the foolishness? Like, it's what we give our energy to. You know, sometimes
it's so easy to put each other down.
Right.
Yes.
I'm doing better than them right now, or I make more money than them, and they don't look like me, they don't talk like me, they ain't dressing like me. But at the end of the day, no matter what we look like or what we work with, still family. So why?
Or it's like, I value what they're saying because they have a house on the hill.
Right. Come on, take your time.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Well, I didn't went to college, so and so them down there, they don't know what they're talking about. No. That's what, everybody has something to say. And just because your life may be, glorified in the, American way or whatever, that doesn't mean that you're above me. I may have something that you need. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, I have learned, especially with 2020, things can change within the blink of an eye.
Absolutely.
So if you can be up there, and then, like I always tell my sisters, I would tell them, like, listen, it took one decision to turn this world upside down. We got a call, there's a pandemic going on, everything's shutting down.
Absolutely.
And it didn't matter who was this and who was that. And everybody was on the same level.
But I said the same thing. I said, who would have thought that everybody, all these great artists, all these basketball players, all these preachers, and this, that, and the third, they're using social media as an outlet, just like us regular people. You know what I'm saying?
An outlet and an income.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You said the very thing that the intentions of the states that we live in want us to feel. That there is a regular and there is a something above or beneath. We're all here learning it together. Either driving our energy, having the same experience, learning, loving, but there is power in community. There's power in transparency. There really is.
Yeah, I have learned, guys. I have learned how to stop putting, like my mom always said, like, don't put a muzzle on your mouth or whatever. Say what you feel, but she would teach us to, be respectful and stuff like that. But if you felt a certain way, she would be like, okay, what's going on? What's happening? Why you flinging around? What? She never let us go about our day and never check
point it out. Absolutely.
Yeah, like, okay, you've been walking around all day. What's going on? And yes, to us, we, like, me and my sister, we joke about it. Like, okay, we would want her to be more like lovey-dovey, like, come sit on mama's lap. No, ma'am. No, sir. Right. My mom was very tough. Girl, stop all this crime. Like, and I wanted to bring that back too when you were talking about, like, the pioneers of our family. I can think back, even with Pearl, like, if there was, like, a situation or somebody got offended, child, please stop all that. Come here and come eat. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I'll be mad or will be mad or whatever, like, dang, this person said
when
this.
you get that plate, your mind changes.
Exactly. You're like, you know what?
You get back home.
Right.
I think about that stuff later.
See, but you know what? But that brings me back again to the family. Like, you know what? Like, granted, like, my family is married in with another side of the family. You know what I'm saying? But knowing that, okay, there was no division. Yeah. There was no separation. Me and Chris said the same thing. He said when he
that's why we're so close.
Right.
With all of what we heard.
Right. Because it didn't mean nothing to us. Because why? Because we family.
It has nothing to do with
it. Exactly.
Let me tell you something. This is my cousin's sister. You know what I'm
saying?
Right. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Because let me tell you something. At the end of the day, no, we may not be blood, but she act just like blood. Like, if I call her and say I need $20, she'll just say, okay, I'm gonna send it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that, but that just goes to show she know what it means to be family. You know what I'm saying? Like, she know what it means. And outside of saying, oh, I know you will do it for me. It's the fact that I know you're in a position where you need,
Right.
and I'm gonna make sure it happens for you.
And it's not our business if I do something for you.
Right.
You. I'm gonna tell Chris, I just did this.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
That's a good one.
She gave me back my money. Okay.
Right.
But it's what's the saying? Don't lend out nothing you can't.
Exactly. If you can't afford to give out them $20,
wow.
keep it like shucks.
Come on.
Okay? No, honestly,
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest, I can't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And be okay. I've learned
And be
to
okay with saying no.
Be confident in your no.
Right.
Like no, I mean no harm. I love you, but right now,
Right.
That was our thing. Like we will always feel like don't tell nobody you ain't got it. When I got on, I'm like, look. Because I know you ain't got it all the time now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, I don't have it right now, but if I had it, I would give it to you.
You know that reminds me of my little cousin, Gabby. She said to me, you Auntie Wonder rich. I said, who told you that?
I'd be like,
your mouth to God ears. Who told you that?
Like, you better say that. I was showing right now.
The favor of God is on you. Sometimes you go through your spell where you be like, okay, God is really, really blessed, but then sometimes you be like,
I should have said
Can I ask a question though?
Yes.
And this is a question for everyone. Just a general question. How many of you really believe a family that prays together stays together? Do y'all really believe that? What you getting ready to say? Because you took a whole deep side.
Go ahead, baby. We can talk about it.
A whole deep side.
We can talk about it.
we're gonna talk about it.
I do believe that prayer is very essential in gatherings and family and stuff like that. But here's the problem: just because we praying, that does not solve all our problems. This is why I was saying what I was saying. It has to be a space where we could talk about stuff. Absolutely. Because I've learned, like, prayer don't solve, for me in that moment, it does not solve my human feelings.
Mm-hmm, right.
Yes, my spirit man is, like the scripture says, it always wants to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? It's always longing for God and all of that. But then on the practical side, the human side of me, I'm still hurt. You know what I'm saying? When you get stabbed, even though there's a Band-Aid, you move that finger wrong way, you don't feel that pain. So you have to, prayer, pray, whatever. Because I remember, like, for instance, my mom had started doing, like, Wednesday night prayer with my siblings. And I promise you, we went, like, a good 2-3 weeks strong. That fourth week, I promise you, it was like everything went crazy. Me and my sister was arguing. We almost fought in Walmart. Like, it was going crazy. And I had to step back. I said, okay, wait a minute. I was like, now, when there's unity, there's always going to be some friction come out of it, because why? We already know the enemy doesn't want us to be unified. Right. So you have to think and be intentional. Okay, if we're going to come together, even with this, we have to be on guard. Okay, if something happened or whatever, yes, we're human. We're going to feel something. But let me tell you, let me tell you how I felt. Right. And then be okay with me telling you. And I have to be okay with what you might say. You get what I'm saying? So if Chris bumped me and I'm in my feelings or whatever, I can't take that and run and don't say nothing to him. And then the next time he see me, hey Chris, how you doing?
And you holding something, like, and he don't know what's going on.
Absolutely. It be dry. You be dry.
Yes.
What
is going on with Chrissy?
Yeah.
And now he go tell Marcell, and Marcell like, because remember the other day she was acting a little stank. And now it's festering.
Y'all see, we ain't like that.
No, I'm just saying.
Give some examples. Okay?
No, but I'm just saying that's how things start. So remember, when there's unity in the mix, there's gonna be some opposition to that. So think about it. Yes, prayer can keep us together in the spirit realm, but if you ain't doing no human work, no practical work, that thing gonna shatter, and then your emotions gonna. Well, I ain't gotta talk to them anyway, cause whatever. No. Yeah. We gotta do two. There has to be a balance.
There has to be. I want to piggyback on what you're saying. Yes. That's
yes.
Exactly
come on.
So that's where I want to go with that too.
Yes.
Because I told it it's all right because it wasn't for you. It wasn't for you. Praise God. Okay. Not everything is for you. Come on.
No, you gonna bring it up.
But I'm gonna definitely piggyback on that because we can pray all day long.
They be trying to say
come on.
We can.
It's fine.
But we have to do our due diligence
and
our work. We have to put forth effort.
Yeah.
effort. We can pray a house down, cry, all of that stuff. But what can we face the issue?
Yeah.
Can we have the conversation?
It's good you said
Can
that.
we go? Yes.
Even praying, I'm gonna be honest with you. I pray because that's what we was brought up.
Absolutely.
Taught to
Yeah.
do.
Absolutely.
When we face adversity, just pray. I believe God. But
And wait on God.
There's a spiritual side and
Come
there's
on.
a natural
Yeah,
side.
there we go.
My natural, I'm gonna have to go to this person because I hate it's a bad energy.
Yeah.
It's sitting on me. If I see this person, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Half the time, some people really don't think about. I don't think I did anything wrong or said
Yeah.
anything.
They didn't even
But
know.
in my feelings, hey brother, we need to talk because I got something on me I need to get off my chest. Maybe I took it the wrong way, and I think a lot of times that comes in with family because it's a lot of misunderstanding.
Yes.
Communication. Some people may talk harder than others, and some people they're just not talking.
Yes.
And
Right.
you hurt my feelings because I'm talking to you hard. You know, you got certain family they talk real hard, but they don't mean no harm. But the softest person.
Can I say this too? To cut you,
Yeah.
not to cut you off, but just so that we're clear. Prayer claws, prayer shawl, they're acts of faith.
Come on.
They help you to believe in whatever it is you're dealing with.
Yes.
Right.
That's
But
good.
you still have to face it.
Yeah.
You still have to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's the
Work
work
that
that we put it in. It's just a faith act. We say these things out loud from earth to heaven. We're praying that we can get over it. But when I'm done praying, what am I going to do to get over it?
Absolutely.
What am I going to say to believe that I'm blessed?
Yeah.
You know,
Come
even
on.
when it's about material things, I had to realize myself that I am the energy that I possess. I am the anointing that I'm praying for, that I'm asking for. If I want these things that I'm praying for, I have to believe that I house it. Mind, body, and soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So what am I going to do? What effort am I going to put in after I get off of my prayer time? If I get out of my closet and stuff, I would say another word, but I don't want to go another way. But when I get up, you know, what am I going to do after I'm done praying? You know, it takes a level of consideration, you know, with ourselves. We have to build the confidence, you know, and we sometimes, well, not even sometimes, we have to become emotionally attached. Not emotionally attached. We have to detach ourselves from emotions because we get lost in that stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, we forget the point of where we're at. We forget our focus and stuff like that. But we have to, you know, proceed with our faith and not our emotions.
And then too, a lot of times with family, even though I can know you all day, but a lot of family don't know how to walk in their own truth.
Very true.
Facts.
When you don't know how to walk in your own truth and you're struggling with your own truth because you're worried about, okay, they may say this about me. I'm doing this, I'm doing
You
that.
better say that.
But when you get in your brain, I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm going to walk in my truth.
Lord,
I can't worry about how you're going to feel about me,
Yes.
what you're going to say. But when I walk in my truth, I'm free. You're going to be bound. They're still going to be bound because, okay, I really want to do this, but I don't want them to say this about me. When you learn to walk in your truth and you're honest with yourself and you know, okay, God, this is what I'm dealing with, but I'm going to be true with it. I'm going to put it out there. This is who I am.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of judgment comes from that too.
Yeah.
See, but you know, but it even take me back to like what you were saying, Chrissy, in regards to, for me, I call it transparency or constructive criticism. With a family member, a lot of people are afraid to address things because they don't want somebody to feel some kind of way. But why rob yourself of the freedom or lifting yourself of that weight when all you got to do is just free yourself, like you said, just say what it is that's on your mind. But as you said, at the same time, I need to know that I can say this to you and you not feel some kind of way. You know, and I was just telling a friend of mine, if I call myself a friend, I should be able to be transparent with you. I should be able to tell you where you're falling off at. I should tell you where you're lacking, and you should on the right. Absolutely. Let me tell you something, man.
What did she say?
And without you being offended.
Yeah.
And that's that emotional detachment.
And I'm gonna, and
we're so tied to our emotions.
And this is me
that's
being
what it is.
transparent. Let me tell you, and this is a God knows truth. These two have helped me with learning how to accept transparency. The God knows truth.
Thank you, Jesus.
Because
You went through it.
because I was one that I was always always trying to be like mindful of stuff. You know, y'all know me. I'm always like, Chrissy the same way. Y'all know she got that a little bit too. But it's just like, oh, you know, don't say this. They always say, oh, you always trying to find somebody. You always, what you say, y'all always giving somebody the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
But
my mom prepared me. She did prepare me to live with God. She did. And the older I get, it's like life circumstances come. She said, well, this is what you do. And this happened. This is what you do and that happened. Keep going. Mama always told us, keep going. Life is what you make it. Ain't nothing, that's what say, it's the church saying, ain't nothing too hard for God. You just keep going. Deal with the situation when you can deal with it. Deal with it in that time. Seasons don't last forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she's always the love. It was the love.
Yeah.
It was love. My daddy was more the reserved, quiet, but he's funny, but he also stern too. My dad ain't play the radio, but my mom, she was always the one. I'm gonna get on the phone. I'm gonna get her on level. I'm gonna joke with you. She gonna laugh with you, even with my own relationships. Even my own relationships, my mom was like, hey, they ain't do nothing to me. Whatever y'all got going on, that's me y'all. But I'm not gonna stop talking to them because y'all gonna stop talking. Because this is how I draw people to the kingdom. This is how I draw people. I meet people where they're at. Granted, I would never let nobody mistreat y'all. But I have a job.
Yeah.
And even in everything, with her preparing and saying, my mom told us 2 years before any of this even happened. When her body started to break down, she's like, I'm tired. I'm like, girl, you gonna be alright. I'm tired, y'all. I ain't gonna be up forever. Y'all better get what y'all gonna get. But she also left us keys and tools. Like, hey, this is it. Y'all gonna miss my presence, but I prepared y'all.
Yeah.
Everybody didn't take heed.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, yeah, it hurt, and it still does, but I know how to go on.
Yeah.
And I deal, you know, you're going to have your moments where you're like, oh my God, what was she doing this, what were they doing this moment? But it's like a replay. Okay, she did this and she was all right. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be all right. I never tell anybody, don't cry. Don't cry, don't cry. No, cry. Scream. Just don't lash out. I don't lash. I used to do the lashing out, but now I just like let me just get by myself. I'm gonna get myself together and keep going. But yeah,
you know what you said is so true because I find myself quoting my mom all the time. Like little things that she would say or do. Like you know, some of the people on the line know that. I started going to counseling because like I was losing it. Like I was straight up losing it because how she passed, you know, how sudden it was, what happened, the whole, everything that the hospital did and all of that shook me. You know what I'm saying? Because here I am talking to you and then within hours I get a call, you gone. What happened? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So from that, it did take a toll on me. But now I can honestly say, like you said, my mom prepared us. She did. She prepared us. Like I was telling my counselor the other day, she was saying like, cause I was like, sometimes, you know, I just be having a pity party, like, Mom, Mom, this is not fair, da da da. But I said one day I was in the room and I was just crying, and I promise you, it's like I heard her voice. Stop all that crying. Just as clear. It was like she was in the room. And I was like, it's like, come on, you got stuff to do. Let's go. And I was like, okay, you know what, Chris, you're stronger than what you think. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you said, you miss the presence, you miss being able to hear their voice, you know, reach out and touch, that type of stuff. But the stuff that she left behind, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know, you know, other people, they leave behind, like, you know, millions of dollars and all this other type of stuff. My mom left stuff to anchor me in life. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not out here going. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that we have to think about while we're here. Spend time with our loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Call them. If they on your mind, oh, I hope they're doing all right. No, call them, text them, something. Hey, listen, me and Chris, we may not talk every day, but you best believe we sending funny videos. Something to stay engaged. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if we start to incorporate that and make those little steps, we'll become, more unified. That way, if I see you, it ain't like you're estranged or whatever.
Have nothing to find a common ground.
Exactly. Yeah. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and move on to the next question. We kind of got off, but
it was off. It was.
Listen. If y'all y'all gonna be glad them cameras was off.
Listen, the names got called.
We went deep, dog.
We had to break, guys.
But it's all
necessary. It was good. So with the next question, I wanted to ask, how do you feel, or how do you break generational cycles? How do you feel like that should be implemented, or how would you go about breaking generational curses? Chris,
I'll definitely start.
This is his thing.
Monique, you said it too when I started talking about the reason why I chose to come back from Houston to Florida was what I realized, and then your response was, well, you cannot force anything on anybody. And that was one of the things I realized, but there is power in leading by example.
Right. Yes.
Over time, whether you post it, whether you say it, people watch. People see that you come from one place and you transition to the next. Whether it be your form, your energy, whatever it is. People will see, and some may take note, but overall they observe. But for me, that's exactly what it is. Breaking generational curses is when you make the conscious decision, or you realize that what traumatized me ends here.
So talk a little bit about why you left. Like what was the initial feeling or cause for you to be like, okay, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back there so the people know exactly.
Yes.
Let's paint a picture.
Yes. So I was in its simplest form confused when it came to being a dedicated servant of the Most High God, going to church every Sunday, being obedient to what I felt that I needed to do to live. But it was only me pleasing people's and their opinions, their perception of who they think I should be in the earth. And I believe that God chose me to have this sense of mind. It's like, no, I actually want to test it out for its realism. I've always been somebody that want to see how something works. Even going to a theme park. Y'all remember Back to the Future? They had a ride. Everybody else chilling and watching the thing. My little self leaning out just to see how it works. And I realized that other people are just riding on like some little machine, and we're watching the screen. I'm like, okay, I can chill because I'm not where we are. Where we feel, or whatever this experience makes us believe. That was the gift that God gave me. That was the gift that He gave us to break generational curses. I want to get to the bottom of my existence.
Yeah, come on.
And I was in a season where I was angry. I was upset. I was confused because what I was putting out in the earth, it did not feel real. It wasn't natural. I did not feel like I had a connection to the Spirit of God. I was trying to please other people. So I made a decision, and God gave me I have a gift to sing and stuff like that. So I was able to meet people in other states, singing, doing what I did, of course, in the church, singing background and stuff like that. And I met a few people, and they had a family similar like mine. I like ours. Would allow people, the door pretty much unlocked. Families, will stay for a season, leave for a season, but that was how our family was. And I was able to meet somebody and we connected on that level. And he was like, I don't know if you're going through what you're going through, but just know you got a home in Houston. And for a while, I hid that from him. I didn't say anything about it, but stuff started getting tough. And I spent some of my loneliest days, like, in Florida when I was confused and stuff. And Marcell would come to the crib sometime, we would talk, and I would really be more so pouring out, like, just how I felt. And sometimes we would even sit in silence, just vibing, whatever. But I had to make the decision, like, I gotta go heal.
Yeah.
Before I lose my and start going off, like, no, like, seriously. Because I was ready to fight. I was ready to, like, go off on people. Because you steady telling me how to live, and I'm steady obeying because I'm afraid to actually live.
Oh, good, sir.
So I left. I told people any excuse that I could, just to get them off. Oh, why you leaving? Oh, I got a music gig. Oh, something about to happen, maybe whatever. But I spent that time intentionally to understand what existing as an individual was on earth. I got the job the day that I was there, like, all that stuff. I smoked, all that. And this lady, listen, this lady, she gave me the job on the spot, and after I filled out the application, she immediately handed me the drug test. I'm like, oh, I'm not getting this job. I am not getting this job.
All bets are on.
And I went and I did it because I believed. And she said, you know what? It came back positive, but marijuana, by the way, I do no other drug. And I don't do marijuana either, praise God. I am done with that. Okay, that was the sidebar. But she said, because I need somebody right now who got the job. So I was able to make sure I was good in the space that I was living in. Went to work, did what I had to do, and when there were times that I could sing out and travel with Kim and Daryl, whoever, I did that. But I was intentional about really unlearning everything that I thought I knew.
That's good.
That was the hardest. I cried many nights. I laid on my face. I wept for many nights because a lot of the stuff that I thought made me who I was irrelevant. It was full of pride. It was fake. It was not real. It was not real. And I had to really learn that love and all of the things that I want, they already exist inside of me.
Yeah.
God is not mad at you for being yourself.
Yeah.
God does not hate you. He will not turn his ear, his face on you. None of that. God loves us because, like, every second that we live is love. And it lives inside of, like, I had to really learn that, dog. Like, I would be, like, some of my darkest days were Sunday nights. Because I hated going to school. I hated worrying about what people would think about me because I had the nature of my mother as a child and all these different things. Even the questions that I didn't have for myself about family member and why I was treated. God himself, the Spirit of God, showed me my family members and them and their existence, not knowing their way and having to live up to standards and stuff like that. So it helped me realize that we're all here figuring stuff out. And there was something that happened where he was like, okay, this season is over and you can come back home. And I can't even go into detail of how it happened, but I was even saving money at the time to fly back. Extra money, get house, and da-da-da. But it wasn't so. Like, I was able to get back no cost. I was able to keep all the money that I saved and stuff and make my way back. But I'm like, when I got there, I realized that everything that I was healing from it still exists here on these grounds. I'm telling you, not even in 24 hours. I'm like, what the heck am I doing back here?
Yeah.
But it's like, you found where love is. Because me leaving was going. It's so funny. It's so funny how God wants you to trust him. Because my purpose, the quote was, I'm going where the love is. And when I realized this whole time the love was in me, that it's everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So I can be back home because I am where the love is. I really am where the love is. So from that point, I started to, and I now take my time with whatever I'm learning. I noticed that even seasons they change, but they also have a time limit too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
God says you're in one place for a season, sit there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, meditate on that season. And then when you learn a little more, when you grow and when you're confident in that, then things change. You know, in the seasons, you know, stuff like that. But it's me now living in that. I ain't forcing life on nobody. I'm not trying to make you believe so strongly in what's the right or wrong way, because everybody has a journey. But I truly believe that when we live, all of being the example, being the lead, all of that stuff follows.
You know what?
All of that stuff follows.
I gotta say one thing.
And that's where I
what I heard while you was talking is I'm legit. Is we're constantly robbed of our experience.
Oh yeah, that's
How
Marcell.
is it like? And I always tell people, it's like, okay, like when my mom had her stroke, I called y'all late at night. And I called y'all too because I'm like, okay, these are two people that know what it's like to have their mom taken from them. You know what I'm saying? And y'all had an experience. You know what I'm saying? So how is it that I want to go to Chris, you know what I'm saying, ain't never had that type of experience. You know what I'm saying? I need to go to somebody that had, and I'm not calling out.
And I was just say, thank God I was knocked out sleep. I am a heavy sleeper, and my phone would not let me what I'm saying.
But they will sleep too. They will sleep too.
Yeah.
But my thing is this: how am I to be helped if I can't go to somebody with an experience? And we're constantly like the church. And when I say the church, I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the ministry as a whole. You know, it will rob you from an experience.
The principle.
Because like you said, every time you turn around, we're always being, everything's a sin. Everything's going to cause you to go to hell. You know, don't try this, don't try that, don't, Lord, see, they done cut the camera back on, so I started to call somebody name. But, because I truly had,
You know who you are.
because I had one of those experiences where I got accused for something I didn't do. And my uncle, the one you talked to today, while we was on the way here, he the one covered for me. Like he made me, even though what I got accused of wasn't even valid. And I started beating myself up for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. Now I cut you off. And I'm piggybacking off of what he said. When it comes to certain things in life, I'm gonna say God puts us in a place of loneliness. He gonna push you in a place of loneliness to get your focus. Hey, you're so busy worrying about this person, that person. Oh, this person said this person said that. But no, you have to get to know yourself.
Come on.
Yes.
You have to get to know yourself and your true self. I go back and say, I always say true self because a lot of us don't know our true self.
Yeah.
We run up, okay, I want to be like this person. This how this person acts, so we adapt. You know, God puts you in the season of loneliness to first, okay, God, you put me here, now what's up? It's yourself. You have to work on self. I can't worry about, oh yeah, Chrissy got this going on, and this and that. I'm trying to aspire to be like her. Chris got this going on. Well, I wish I had the popularity like that. Marcell doing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything. I want to say everything isn't God, but a lot of things is God. He even disconnects you from people. People can be very toxic. What they say, because a lot of if you're doing a toxic person isn't really happy with themselves. So they do anything to, okay, I'm gonna beat down this person. I'm gonna tear down this person because I see them going far, but I don't want to go. I don't want to go far. I want to draw them back. It's okay to be in a lonely place. It's not like you acting funny. You're not being standoffish or I'm all me. No, I'm in a place of God is getting my attention.
See, but that leads me back to you're having an experience. And it's okay to have an experience. Because experiences take you so far. How, like, it's just like, okay, if you've never had your car repossessed, like, prime example, I would always tell my sister, she's one of those parents that she trying to make sure she never let my niece down. And I said, but you know what, you got to give her that room sometimes. Because it's like a lot of these people that got money, when the money dry up, what they do? They're killing themselves because they've never had an experience like this.
So in every aspect of your life, you have to have an experience.
And learn from it.
Absolutely, and thank God for it, because if you don't, and learn to appreciate it, because then your value on life, the way you view things are different. You learn how to take things differently. Your expectations are different, and that's why I always commend them. This one here get mad because I always be like giving him so much kudos on a lot of things, even her, because it's like being around them.
I'm like, thank you.
Being around them. No, first, before she said things, she gotta be sarcastic. You know how that go. And then she tell me, "You thank you, yeah, try sale." So, but I always tell them, like, because again, when we was talking about like the communication, if your parents never really had those discussions with you, and you just go off of more so what you know, sometimes it'll lead you blind.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like she said, you find yourself picking up characteristics that ain't even you.
Yeah.
Because nobody's ever took out time to tell you to be comfortable with you. You know, accept who you are. You know, walk in your truth. Walk in who you are and be fine with who you are. You know, and so, but again, that all comes with like experiences. If you don't have an experiences, if you don't have a story to tell, how are you to win me over? I need to know, like, okay, when something going on, I don't know who to call. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this happening, let me call Monique. Oh, this going on, let me call Chris. Oh, this going on, let me call Chris. Because I know that these are people that have had these experiences and they can step me through it. Now, yeah, my ending may not be your ending, but you can tell me what to do, or tell me, okay, it's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just an experience, and it's only to build you, or it's only to show you how to have a different perspective on life. You know what I'm saying? But what happened is, again, the church will rob you of an experience.
No, I can't even say all the church.
No, it's not all.
It's some people who ain't even in the church that are robbed from you. Oh, you'll be all right, child.
Yeah.
This and this and that.
Yeah.
But you can't allow people to rob you of that. You're only, what's that saying? People will only do what you allow them to.
Absolutely.
Come on.
People will only say what you allow them to say to you.
And that's why I said I was okay with coming back home, because I realized that what I was dealing with was 400 plus years of oppression. This happened. This hasn't happened. This ain't just new to me. This is going on within our community.
Yeah.
Us thinking that we're already less than. Period.
Yeah, come on.
This is something that is so far beyond us. Like, it's been going, and it's not the church. We cannot blame
Right.
the church, because, and I don't go.
It does.
I don't go. It starts at home. It does. And I stand proud to say I don't go. But I rather have moments like this, because it matters, and my life will be the example.
See, and
but I'm not afraid to call on my brother and my sisters that are still trapped in the mentality. There's a lot of them that exist in those realms and outside of the church. You go out into the hood, there are a lot of low life thinking. And the minute that somebody tries to do something for themselves, it ain't even got to change it for the better. It can just be getting something else. I bought Crafty Crabs this week, but I've been doing, McDonald's all last week. And the first thing you say is something about me spending my money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It does not matter, because it's a choice that I made. But this is the place that we live. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't see that we can have better. We don't see that we can do better,
Right. And see, the reason why I said the church is because, like we were saying, everything for us was hell. I remember somebody called me a while back. This had to be like almost 2 years now. And she just randomly called me, and she brought up my grandma. And she was like, your grandmother called me about coming and saying that this, and the third. And I'm like, okay, it couldn't be my grandma, because she gone. And but however we started talking, and when we
I'm sorry to laugh. But you're lying.
But she said my grandmother called her, asked her to come and sing at a program, and I said, first of all, my grandma is not one to even put together programs, so I know it wasn't her. And second, she has been gone for 2 years, so I know you talking about the wrong lady.
see.
But I said all that to say we got into. She called late, and I was happy that she even called me because it's been a while since I spoke to her. But I remember when we talked, she started to ask about my life, right? And she started saying, where are you now? What's going on with you? And I started telling her about some of the experiences I had. But as I was discussing my experiences, because I'm so used to being told everything is hell bound, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by the church. But when I say, but when I started to talk to her, she said, but that's okay. Because you're having an experience. And she said, here I am 50 years old, just learning what it means to truly have an experience. Right. Because I was put in that same position of everything's hell bound. If you do this, then this is going to lead you to hell. If you do this, but how am I supposed to even know? You know what I'm saying? Who's to say what you're telling me is even right?
This is why it's called, if we want to deal with the church aspect, this is why it's called having a relationship with God.
Right.
Because you cannot call me and say this, or God said this. God didn't tell me that.
Come on.
And everything that God does is in excellence. He does not go out of order. You get what I'm saying? He's not going to come and confuse what you know what I'm saying? If God give me something, it should not be confusing, Chris. It should be confirmation.
It should
something should be resonating with him. It's not going to be something far left, Chris. God told me that you supposed to be over here in Afghanistan. Like, wait a minute. Hold on. That ain't...
I called him.
I
can't even spell
I called him yesterday.
But
no,
these are the things. Yeah. This is why you have to, losing my mom, I'll be honest, losing my mom has really opened my eyes. You talk about having an experience. It has really opened my eyes to understand, like you were saying, unlearning. Like, I thank God for the foundation that we have. Because it anchors us with a lot of our decisions and how we go about life. But I have to really understand that the God that was, my mama experience with God and my grandma experience with God, he is evolving. You know what I'm saying? You can never know everything there is to know about God. So for you to say, oh, God is saying this and God is saying that, no, let him talk to me. You know what I'm saying? When I talk to him, he's gonna give me what I need to do. You get what I'm saying?
So
don't try to that's why I be like, it's your business.
Right.
Did God really tell you that?
But what you said something valid. It's confirmation. Because anything that God is giving you for me, he's already dealt with me first.
Yes.
Everything he comes to me, he deals with all of us first. So at that point, if he's told you something, it's supposed to be confirmation.
Exactly.
You can't tell me this because God ain't said it.
And when God is speaking, he don't never start with the other person. He start with you first. So okay, I want to have a conversation. All right. So let's talk about some things. All right. So the other day when you was doing XYZ, that's how God works.
Right.
He don't go and be like, let me tell you about Marcell.
Right.
No, that ain't how he works.
Right.
He works with you first. Now there are times when God will come and be like, God will give you that unction, or you'll start feeling like, oh my God, let me check on Chris, or let me check on Marcell, whatever. That time
let me love on them. That's what it really. When he call you for somebody else, he wants you to show love to them.
Y'all remember looking this camera back on because I was gonna go back to that lady we was talking about earlier.
It's showing love. Like we embody his love.
Yeah, that is so true.
It doesn't have to come with warnings all the time.
Thank you. And that's so true. When we were talking about, when you said about everything was hell, we have to. Yes, God is. He's a. To me, it's like God's the God of many sides. That's why I say you can never know all there is. As soon as you think you know everything there is, my God, he'd be like, all right, look. And you'd be like, dang, I ain't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I said that to say this. When you are operating, like I said, with within a relationship with God, you gotta know that you know. You get what I'm saying? You gotta know that you know. Don't say, what's that scripture when it talks about like my sheep know my voice or whatever. You have to cultivate that thing. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be sitting there and like, oh, was it God? Was it not God? You need to know. You need to know what you're talking about before you out here just, you know what I'm
Is it the opinions of others?
Yes.
Or is it his voice?
But you know what? And we also need to clarify. Let me tell you something. The Lord don't be like, hey, Marcell, it's the Lord.
Yeah,
Okay?
no.
So you can understand. It doesn't say it's the Lord. And I want you to
No,
do it.
no. And when you get in your time, and what that, okay, having a relationship with God, what that means is, one, of course, prayer, having faith, that type of stuff, whatever.
But knowing Him for yourself.
Yeah, being in a community of people, whatever, because even the scripture says where 2 or 3 are gathered, I'm in the midst, right? So yes, and even in our whatever, like.
And I want to
Go
add,
ahead.
it's also having a relationship with yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because
Be
the more,
truthful.
yes,
It
because the
starts
more you
here.
get to know yourself,
You
honestly
get to know
and
Him.
truly,
Yeah.
the more you get to know God.
Okay. So getting back to the question, right? How do we break generational cycles? So you guys really, point out some things, accepting who you are. You know what I'm saying? You being real with yourself, that all those type of things.
And getting to know.
Yeah,
having
having a relationship with yourself, being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like this, I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? Ignoring what family members have said and done. You know what I'm saying? Creating your own path and being aligned with what is true to you. You know what I'm saying? What is God? And this is, oh my God, this is what used to bother me about a lot of, people in general. It's like, what is God saying right now? Like, what used to bother me is like, oh, well, God sustained us with such and such and such, but this ain't the time of Moses.
He divided the waters.
Yeah, it's
But
like,
we don't have, we're at the beach.
That's
Exactly.
funny. Listen, it's so funny that you said Moses and then he said divide the water.
Yeah,
But
no,
it's
but that's
the
what she.
truth.
But
It's
it
like,
can't help it if it
how,
is. Yeah.
why am I, what sustained them can't sustain me now?
Right.
We're not surrounded by deserts and waters and all of that. There's buildings now,
Yeah, we're not in
to
the
be
wilderness.
simplistic,
Yeah.
but like on a greater scheme, like, okay, my experience is not, me and Monique, some of you guys know, from what she was saying, we both lost our moms, but we have totally different experiences about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Her process is different from mine and vice versa. So we have to be okay in that space, and people be okay with telling people, like, I don't care. Like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. And that I will truly say, and I still struggle with this to this day to a certain extent. Like you were saying earlier, it's like, what are they gonna say? What are they gonna do? Like, even with YouTube or whatever, sometimes, like, you guys have seen like those videos where they do like clean with me's or whatever, or decorate with me, and I'd be like, dang, well, my house don't look like this person's house, so I ain't got all this stuff that they got or whatever. And I was like, okay.
But you don't know where they came from.
Exactly. I don't know how you got it either. You know what I'm saying? I could be thinking, they got thousands and millions of dollars in the bank, but then they auntie them gave them all this stuff that they had.
Right, or they had a hotel
Really
just cleaning up,
Yeah,
Just,
so it's like, for me, it's like accepting, like you were saying, accepting my truth, figuring out what I like, what I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Not listening to or following the paths of our grandmothers and grandfathers and the traditions that they have instilled in us and all of that. No, I'm a totally different person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't.
And they would say this, and it, people, it's always important to study what you've been taught. It's always important to do your own research. But it's so true that you can read certain scriptures and quote certain scriptures, and they will unfold if you really let it. They will always say in the church, God is the same today, yesterday, and forevermore.
Evermore.
But he hit me with something so good, that we live in a never-ending evolution of realization. From way back when, we've been realizing over time what and who and how we exist. So you cannot think for a second that God still, it ain't even God, it's us who are finally realizing more and more as time progresses who and what God is. We will never run out of who He is or what exists here on earth. So when times change, you know, it's going to be a tug with the older generation and the new generation, you know, and fear is there as well. Right. But we are realizing more and more about God's goodness. That's why we're breaking these curses. We're stepping out on faith and we're going forward in our visions and our dreams. We realize that we can create every moment. I'm sorry, go ahead.
In this, I feel like in this time, with the times that are going on, yeah, He's a God saying this today, yesterday, forevermore. But I look at Him as a right now God. Yeah. I look at Him as a every second God, because in any moment like that, anything could change.
And it does.
In any moment, anything could change. And I feel like even now, the more, even with like the older generation and the newer generation, I feel like the younger generation is really stepping up and saying like, hey, y'all is getting out of here. Even us, some of us is getting out of here. But at this moment, the curse has to be broken somewhere. Y'all can keep that same mentality. Thank y'all for how y'all taught us, and y'all taught us how y'all was taught, but now we're getting our own understanding. A lot of the older generation suffer from the lack of knowledge.
Very true.
They feel, oh, these young folks, they don't know nothing. they're not focused. They just doing their own thing. No, y'all been bound so long.
Right, that we're woke. Y'all don't like it.
Y'all sleep. Y'all taking church now.
Snoozing. Really? You're snoozing.
Anybody can make a song and give me some music like that. I'm knocking over something.
Church, okay? Because you're bored. Your life is a bore. Yeah. But it's better to know that I could have did and then didn't do it, and I still make it in. But no, why would you want to live like that?
That's not how.
That's not supposed to go.
That is not the life that God is ordained. Jesus said before He left, He said that you will do greater things than me. And you see that, and I always tell people, Jesus was our greatest example of what we were supposed to be. He wasn't in no four walls of no church. He was hanging with the best on.
Come on.
Like I call it, because it's like these are the people that's gonna be real with you. You may not feel like they're doing the right thing, but He stood out there with them. Nope, He had robbers, liars, all the prostitutes, all of them. Fornicators.
He said, I ain't come to bring peace, I came to bring confusion.
Exactly.
I came to flip over tables.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Exactly. What are you doing? I read this.
Yes, Brother Marcell, Brother Bishop.
Listen, you know what I was gonna say? I said, is anybody else thirsty?
No, but I said all that to say, like, listen, we cannot continue to live our lives in boxes. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the older generation, and this, you know, to kind of close out, the older generation, they live their life, you know, in what they thought sustained them, right?
That's okay. You can be thirsty.
Whatever. Anyway, but yeah, that's fine. But now, you know, we're the millennials. Our time is totally different. You know what I'm saying? So from what you're saying, it doesn't apply to us. You know what I'm saying? It don't work for me. You know what I mean? And you have to be okay. Yes, you're older. You may have more wisdom. Yes, holiness is this and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, what you're doing is helping you, but it's not helping me. And so why would I? Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna live. Exactly. So why would I continue living in a cycle or whatever that's not working? It don't even work for you. You just used to
you
it.
Get ready to go to work, come home, get ready for Bible study on Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights. choir number 1, choir number 2, 3, 4, and 5 rehearsals.
Exactly.
And then Sunday, early morning Sunday school. It's like, come on.
Let me tell you, I'm
gonna
tell you a prime example. Now, you know, my grandma, she was a church mother. And y'all already know my grandma was wild.
She got to stay down. Right. She didn't like to cry.
Right. But I remember coming home from college. And this is my very first tattoo shop. But this was my very first tattoo. And I remember coming home and I prepared myself for all the judgment, XYZ, because we have one aunt in particular. She was very judgmental. You know, if it wasn't holiness, if it wasn't what she considered as holiness, then it wasn't right. And it's so crazy because she actually admitted to me on the day of her birthday that she played church.
Wow.
The entire time, and she said, I see that my state has now allowed me to get a second chance. She said, because I came to a realization, if I open my eyes, I open my eyes in hell. But the thing is this, and unfortunately, y'all already, we said it earlier, a lot of the things were just learned behavior. But I remember coming home, and I remember finally showing somebody I had a tattoo. My mom hadn't knew, my dad knew, but that was it. And so I remember I went in the room to show my grandma. My grandma looked at me, and I was waiting on all the stuff, the church stuff to come out. This lady looked at me, and she said, about time.
Oh.
It's about time that you're actually living.
About time.
It's about time that you're having an experience. She said, you just, all you do is you shelter yourself according to like what everybody tells you and what you're being told you couldn't do. She was like, but you have to have your own experiences. You can't go off of what everybody is telling you. And I told her, I said, well, maybe get my first tattoos, because at that point I realized it was something I wanted to do. I wanted to have an experience like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to tell my child, don't do it. It's just going to hurt. It's a waste of time. It's just a waste of ink. But how can I say that if I hadn't even had that type of experience? You know what I'm saying? And so when she said it and she started to explain some things to me, that's when I was just like, all right, well, this won't be the only one, I guess, Lord. So before you know it, I'm getting sick, so I can't hit nobody. But it was, again, just having, oh, you want to hear it now? So I said, but again, that was me having the experience, because I remember my uncle coming to my aunt's house, preaching my cousin down to hell because she got a tattoo. And I'm thinking like, but will a tattoo really put you in hell? Yeah. Like, can we be real? A tattoo ain't gonna put you in hell. Can we stop?
The church mothers got tramp stamps.
Listen, and tattoos on their ankles. And so it's like,
other place.
But you're telling me that if I decide to have my own experience, there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? If I decide to do something that I wanted to do for me, that it was an issue. But you've done everything you wanted to do. You lived your life. Come on. But now you're telling me, oh, well, I'm just telling you the Savior. No, you're not the Savior. You're not the Savior. Now, if God didn't tell me, you know what I'm saying? Then that's different. But all y'all do is constantly like drill things in us that aren't okay. I had an aunt say, oh, I see you on Facebook like you got your ears pierced. When she asked me, I said, and I did. And what are you gonna say at this point? Because last time I checked, these were my 2 ears.
But okay, here's the thing, right? This is what troubles me. You are so focused on
the wrong stuff,
irrelevance.
The wrong
but
stuff.
Then we have people that are homeless. We have people that are, battered and depressed and all of that. But you worrying about my earrings? Like, I don't understand. Like, there's so many things, even within yourself.
It's bigger than us.
They don't lost their focus.
It's so,
Like, you're dealing with depression. And okay, let's talk about when you was 5 and you got raped. Can we talk about that? Oh, no, God has delivered me from that. Oh, but you can't even utter the words. Deal with your own. Listen.
Absolutely.
You're still in that little child is still in that dark place.
Clean up your backyard.
See, and
clean your front yard and your house too.
I know I keep talking about like experiences, but even one of my aunts, and I don't know, the one that keeps sending you all these videos, you know. This one in particular was saying how you should respond to being molested. And I'm like, but you do understand everybody's experience is different. Everybody handles things differently.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say that this is what you're going through because, well, who the hell are you to tell me that?
But that's true.
Because you don't know my experience.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me, you can't hinder me from having this experience.
Yeah.
Why rob me from this opportunity? If I want to cry, let me cry.
Yeah.
If I want to scream, because at this point you're making me crazy.
They were told that everything was demonic.
Right.
And that's why I said it's so far beyond
the church.
us.
Absolutely.
It is so far, and this is why we gotta keep talking this talk, because for so long, so many of our grandparents, we're living their dreams.
Yeah.
Not because we're Not because we're free to do what we want to do, but they had businesses that they wanted to create.
Come on, you better talk
They
about
had things that they wanted to put out in the community, but because they were afraid to live, because of what we were taught 400 years ago,
or
they were not confident enough to be themselves.
Or going back to our parents that's in the church, or they would be mad. They were so concerned about what the pastor was.
Or everybody else
would
would
think.
say.
Yes. That's
a whole other thing.
Yes.
And you know your train.
Okay, in the next episode we will cover. Right. But that's why I feel like we have to continue, believing in what God has given us by even our visions. And that's what breaking the curse is to me. I feel like for us as well, having that belief in ourselves so much so that we can plant something in this earth. We see it flourish before we get out of here, and it'll be something that the generations after will have the confidence to do something themselves.
Right.
We're still walking around in other people's businesses that are dead.
Right.
Publix, George Washington, whatever his name is, he's been dead. All these other stores, but now people are having like Marcell. You can be the next Publix.
You better watch it.
No, but seriously,
You don't make me
but
sad.
that's what creativity is. All it needs is longevity.
Yeah.
All it needs is longevity, consistency.
Yeah.
That's exactly what creativity is. As long as we keep hold to our focus, we keep creating. It's gonna grow. It's gonna last. It's going to.
You said a good word. You said if people would learn to be consistent and mind their own business, and consistent and stay in their own lane, and consistent and really to getting to know themselves, consistent and to living their life.
Take your time, mother.
Be consistent, and you will be a much better person. Your attitude will be so much better. You will be so much. Be consistent and free your mind.
You would actually be happy.
Your mind can go as far as you want it. But you have to be consistent and quit. Because you're not judging.
And I'm gonna tell you, sometimes, let me tell you, and this is me just being straight up. Sometimes it's good to just live your life on I don't give a damn. It's okay.
There's a season.
There is a season. There it is. There's a
I
season of it. And you don't learn to walk in that. Because I was one of them people. Again, I was mindful of, oh my gosh, if I did this, what happened? If I did this, what I do that?
Okay.
Let me not say this. Let me be careful of this. Let me do this. Let me do this way. Let me do this that way. Let me do it. And I'm just like, all right. But what am I profiting? You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what you want me to do. But what am I profiting? And like you said, then you find yourself not even happy.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing everything you want. And I was going to say this. What made me realize that it was time that I had to wake up, I remember one of my leaders told me, if you don't, I woke up from a deep sleep. If you don't, shut up. But if you don't keep up, you're going to be left behind. And when he said that to me, I was just like, what? Because again, that was all that traditional stuff that they were imparting in me. And I'm just like, okay, but if I do this and if I do that. And one day he said, let me tell you something. You got it. But the thing is, you keep walking off of what's in the past. You keep letting people shelter your life and tell you how to live your life. And if you keep that up, you're going to be stuck. You're going to miss everything. And the worst thing you don't want to do is miss God. Yeah. Because like you said, God is, he's prepared. He's transitioning with the time. He is the time.
Come on. He's just trying to get us to realize. That's what I said.
He is the time.
And that's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, what happens is, again, we're in this position.
Us. We have to understand.
It's us. But that takes me back to even when you said because this same leader said to me, when the Bible says study thyself to be approved unto God, that's just what it is. You gotta have a relationship.
Yeah.
You gotta get to know him for yourself. So when people and I'm gonna tell you, my leader told me that. He said, man, I don't get it. He said people are constantly putting God in a box. They're constantly putting God in a box and they make God seem so complicated. And it's true. Because sometimes we'll go to prayer and we're like, hey, wait a minute, I don't hear you. But God had already spoke all along. But we miss it because we expect him to give it to us in another form or another manner because somebody told us that's how it's supposed to happen.
How we could understand in our human brain.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's like now I'm in a place where again I don't give a damn. Okay, you don't have to like me. You don't have to like what I do, what I say, where I go, how I carry myself. At the end of the day, it's what I'm trying to do for him. And because I have a personal relationship and I have my personal encounters with him, you can't tell me where I stand. I remember being in church and this lady said, "Oh, baby, you need to get the Lord." And the Holy Spirit had done rose up in church, and I'm talking about I was speaking tongues all in that lady's face. Now you tell me. Now that was a flex, okay? I want you to know. At that moment, that was a flex. But but no, I'm just saying. Because I need you to know, I know the Lord, and he will make a way. You can't tell me that I don't know God because I don't look like you. You can't tell me I don't know God because I don't walk like you. You can't tell me I don't know God because I don't talk like you. Because you gotta understand, like you said, we are in a different time. How people can't be as receptive if I got on the 3-piece suit. Everybody don't take people like that. You know what I'm saying?
I want my ripped jeans and my shirt.
Come on, take your time. Because people are not
I
more
ain't wear no full player suit to church no more.
Who got time to put on these handkerchiefs on top of their head?
Who is wearing stockings?
And we live in Florida, my dog.
Come on.
It is
So
97
all those
degrees
clothes-
in December.
It's
It's hot in December. Like,
For
nobody's
real.
gonna put all them clothes on.
Damn it.
But-
All the time I put on clothes like that, if I'm for the help Barry did.
That's it.
That's it. And I barely want to wear it. They think I'm
But
going to
see,
run out of it.
But here's the thing, well, that is for a job. You get what I'm saying? In my normal being, I'm not going out there wearing no darn suit and stockings.
They ain't finna wear no slippy.
You get your ass on our That's what you better do.
And let me tell you what used to get me. I couldn't stand the people that wore white slips and had on a black dress. Wait a minute, white doesn't look
White stockings and black shoes.
Come on.
You know who you are. And I'm coming for you.
You know who you are. If you're
For real.
Right.
It's a black stockings and a white
And
shoes.
the white.
Oh, that's
Oh
just as
my
bad.
God.
That's just as bad.
It's a boy here. Hey, it's a boy here.
Lord Jesus, I be like, yes.
The thick heels, man.
Stop it. Stop it. Because I was going to chime in on that. You really know who you
You
are.
know who you are.
Okay? But listen.
Lift your hand.
Come on. But that just goes to show.
And being in church all day.
Right.
It don't take God all
It
day.
sure don't.
Like,
It really
listen.
doesn't.
I'm not gonna be here.
God is sick of y'all.
Exactly.
God is
listen, he gone. Okay?
Listen, he
He's
been
sitting
left.
there
He left
like,
the
can
building.
we?
The spirit been there.
Yes. I
Y'all
hate
used to carrying on.
But no, to end off, guys, listen, if you stayed the whole video, I am so happy that you did. I hope that we were able to help you in some kind of capacity. Please, take your nuggets where you can get them. But no, I want to thank you for staying this whole time. If you haven't subscribe to the channel, like all that, comment down below.
Wait a minute. Chris,
What?
can I just say one thing?
Yes.
If everybody had the opportunity to say something empowering, what would you say?
Come back to me, huh?
Okay, Chris, what would you say? It's just a nugget for somebody. It don't even have to be spiritual, whatever you would say.
What we were saying, having a relationship with God is having a relationship with yourself.
Absolutely.
The more you get to know yourself, the more you get to realize and experience the power of God.
That's good.
Be okay with having an experience. Understand life happens. At the end of the day, everything is already okay. Everything's already worked out. God is intentional. He already has a plan. You just got to believe that it's going to work out. But it's already done. What would you say?
Live your truth.
That's
Live your truth.
I love it. I love
Let
it.
no one detour you from living your truth.
I love
Be
it.
who you are.
I love it.
That's what I got.
Guys, before we go, I want to say this. Know how to take the meat from the bone. okay? Because, you know, some people may feel like, well, they're talking about God and they're drinking wine, or they're talking about God and they're using
That's just for the
profanity.
miracle.
No, but yes, listen.
I can't hear
I used to
nobody.
tell my mama that. I was like, wait a minute now. He had a good time making that wine, don't play. But you know, allow God to minister to you. Allow God to speak to you in your own way. You get what I'm saying? Have your own experience. And just like what they were saying, don't be caught up in the tangible things, the things that, you know, you may have been taught or you may have learned that as wrong or whatever. Just hear what we're saying, take it for what it is. That way you can evolve and you can live the life that you were already ordained to live. You know what I mean? Accept who you are. If you did, just to make it really simplistic, if you like to eat, you like to eat. You know what I'm saying? If you like to go outside and look at the stars, you like to do that. Be okay with you. And what I would say, you know, again, thank you guys. Thank you so much. We will be back, and I will be doing this again with these crazy, wonderful people.
Her cousins.
Right. Because we don't give a damn.
And for all of our family out there, you know who you are. We love you guys.
We love
We
you.
love every last one of you.
But we gonna tell the truth.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so, and you know who you are. Like they said, we love y'all, but we got to tell the
And we
truth.
want to get back to those big family gatherings.
Yes.
We are not afraid of COVID. Yes, we will do what we got to do. We will plan it, but this is the start of us coming together and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
finding a solution for
Yes.
community. You know?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Making small steps to having a awesome family
Oh, I
and
love it.
being.
Making small steps to a greater purpose.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Making
love
small
that.
steps to have a greater purpose. I love that. Come on,
I
Marcell.
love that.
But yes, guys, thank you again for watching. We're going to see y'all next time.
All right.
I will talk to y'all later. We love you.
Love you guys.
Bye.